Hi everyone, Jus4SweetZ here. We are going to make another fall, autumn, Halloweenish, Thanksgiving-ish, whatever you want to call it, treat. Um, I'm working with pumpkin today, and I'm just using a can of organic pumpkin, not pumpkin pie mix. And what we are going to make is a pumpkin pie spiced coffee creamer. Now you can use it for your hot coffee or an iced coffee, however you prefer it. And normally you get the store-bought ones, and I have one. I buy them every year, but the more and more I get to drink them, the more I don't like them. I don't like some of the taste of them, but I do buy them. So today I'm going to create a homemade version of pumpkin pie spice creamer and see how I like that one in my coffee. So this is also a great gift that you can give to your friends or coworkers. Just put it in a cute little bottle. You can put it in a mason jar. I am actually using a leftover, I don't know if it's a vanilla syrup or I'm not quite sure what bottle it is, but I save when I like a bottle, because there's very few things that are in glass anymore. It seems like everything's in plastic. I save these because I like to use them. So we are going to use this leftover jar. But if you don't have a jar, then just go ahead and use a mason jar. All right, so we're going to get started. The first thing we need is a cup of milk, and I'm just using a 2%. So we're going to do 1 cup of milk, and we're going to put it in a saucepan over medium heat, and I've got that heat going already. Next, the killer, heavy cream. Now we are diluting it with some milk, but yes, unfortunately we have to put some heavy cream in there. So make sure you put less in your coffee. Put it in your coffee for the flavor. Or you're making it for a gift. That nice, thick, creamy, heavy cream. 1 cup of that. That takes a little bit longer to come out of the container. All right. The next thing you want is 3½ tablespoons of pumpkin puree. If I can get it out of the spoon. All right. 2. I know, can you believe it? You see me using measuring spoons and I never use these. Okay, 3½ tablespoons of canned pumpkin. Make sure it's not the pumpkin pie mix, it's just the canned pumpkin. All right, next thing you need is some maple syrup, and that's going to give it some sweetness and some mapley rich flavor. So we're going to use 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. I don't want to make it over mapley, but I just want it to have that hint of maple. But we do definitely need to sweeten it up. So to that, we are going to also add 2 tablespoons of agave nectar. Now agave nectar is kind of like a honey. It's a little bit thinner than honey. It's supposed to be really good for you, and I believe it's lighter on the calories. I don't know because I don't have any honey right now, but this is an organic honey nectar, agave nectar. And I like to substitute that a lot of times. Like sometimes I'll put it to make my sweet tea. I'll use agave nectar instead of sugar. And I'm real big using Splenda, and I know that stuff is, or Splenda Sweet and Low, any of them, they're not good for you. You know, they're made of chemicals. So I'm trying more and more to get away from that. But I like my stuff sweet, but I'm trying to watch my calories. So, you know, I'm kind of stuck in a catch-22. So I'm slowly, I don't know, trying to ease myself into less sugar and using more organic things. So that's that story about me. The next thing you want to use is a teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. And I don't know where my teaspoon is, so we're going to use 2 half teaspoons to make our teaspoon. And this stuff, oh, it smells so good. It smells like holidays. Totally smells like holidays. And pumpkin pie spice is basically just a mixture of cinnamon, ginger, lemon peel, nutmeg, cloves, and cardamom. So they just mix it all together for you so you don't have to do it. Okay, and last but certainly not least, we need our pure vanilla. And I'm going to use about a teaspoon And I'm going to eye that one. And then a drop for good luck. I love vanilla. Love the smell of it. It's got to be the pure vanilla, but I love it. Okay, so we have our pan going on medium heat. The next thing you want to do is get a whisk. And go ahead and start stirring this. And mixing that up really, really well. You want all those flavors to blend together and mix. We're trying to break up that pumpkin in there a little bit. And let this all start cooking. And basically you just want to get everything mixed and get it warm. Because as it gets warm, you get the syrup that blends in, the agave nectar, the pumpkin, and then those spices go throughout. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this to work today and put it next to the coffee station. Linda's not there today from Linda's Pantry. Her and I work together. And she's not there, so she won't get to try it. She's on vacation this week, actually, so she won't get to try it at all unless I bring it next week. So I might have to do that for her because I know she likes to drink her coffee. All right, so we're going to let this go on just a medium heat and, you know, let it get going. And then we're going to go ahead and just in between, we're going to keep mixing. And you can mix real well. All we're trying to do, like I told you, is get all those flavors blended together and break that pumpkin up a little bit. And actually, one thing I might do super quick here is we are going to grab a bowl. Go ahead and set this strainer over the bowl. I just have one of my regular kitchen bowls. Can't let any of that cream go to waste. Okay. So keep stirring. And what we're going to do is just like in my hot chocolate video, we strained it through a mesh strainer to get the lumps out. Now, if you have I forget what the mixer is. It's a stick mixer. Isn't that terrible? I don't even know my kitchen lingo. You can use that and try to break it up. But if not, then go ahead and put it through the mesh strainer. And if you don't mind having the chunks of pumpkin in there, I'd say go for it and just pour the whole thing in the bottle. I don't think that a little pumpkin's going to hurt anything, but sometimes people have issues with texture. So this is how you solve that problem. Now, another thing you might have in your home that you could use is cheesecloth. And if you have cheesecloth, I would just take a piece and wrap it around the bowl, tuck it underneath, and then pour on the top. And that cheesecloth is going to catch any extra pumpkin and everything, the chunks, as well. So that won't go all the way through either. So a strainer or cheesecloth or the little pieces of pumpkin, whatever you prefer. Or the stick mixer. There's a name for it. It's on the tip of my tongue. I just can't. An emulsion blender? Maybe that's what it is. An emulsion blender. I've watched Food Network enough, you would think I would know. Okay. So we're going to just keep stirring, and basically all we're trying to do is get this nice and heated and get that pumpkin dissolving as much as possible. Not to mention, when you warm it up, it gets all those spices, it melts that syrup and gets all the flavors going together. So we're going to see where we're at with it right now. Because you can let it boil a little bit, but we don't want to like let it overboil, you know. So we're just trying to get it warm. I think it's just about almost there. And I keep stirring. The reason you keep stirring it is it can scald or, you know, stick to the sides, and you don't want that. You don't want to get pieces of milk that have been scalded to the sides of the pan. So basically when we stir it, we're preventing that. I'm going to keep stirring for a second here. Let's see if we get to almost a boiling stage. Takes a little bit. A watch pot never boils. Have you ever heard that term? I get so frustrated because sometimes I sit and watch, and then I'm like, okay, I'll just walk away, and I walk away for 2 seconds and it's boiling. Okay, this one's starting to bubble on top, and that's not from stirring. I can see the bubbles coming from the heat underneath. So we want to make sure we don't overboil it. Yeah, it's starting, I can see it bubbling underneath. So I'm going to give it one more quick stir here. Get those flavors together. The girls at work are going to be happy today. If I get time, I'll do one of my microwave cakes, but I don't know if I have time for that. I got to get ready for work. All right, so it is just now starting to get the little bubbles and boil. Okay. And like I said, I don't want it to start scalding or boiling over. So when the bubbles are down, see if I can get real close here. I don't know if you can see this. You can see the bubbles coming around the edge of the pan. When it gets about to that point, that's when we really want to watch it, and I can see it starting to bubble on top. There goes, see, it's starting to simmer. All right, and we're done. Turn it off. Okay, so let's head back here so you can see it all. Okay. So next what we want to do is we want to go ahead and we're going to pour this. Let's give it one more stir, since as it bubbles, all the spices and everything come to the top. And that gives it a nice, the heavy cream gives it a nice thicker texture too, rather than just plain milkiness. Okay. As you can see, that made quite a bit of creamer. I mean, you could probably get at least 2 bottles of this, depending on the size of your jar or bottle, to give away as gifts. Or, you know, this should last you a while. Now, basically, there's all the leftovers that go through the strainer. That's what would be in your coffee, which is basically just pumpkin and seasonings. But those flavors are also already in the creamer because we boiled those in. So, like I said, if you don't mind the chunks, go ahead and leave it the way it is, or go ahead and strain it out. Basically, what you want to do, you can see the steam coming off of this, is you want this to cool down a little bit before you start putting it in bottles. I'll go ahead and bottle this up, try not to burn myself, but that's another reason you don't do it right away. But what I did is I just took one of these bottles and I put my funnel in it because, you know me, I'll spill everywhere. And actually, if I had something that had a pour, you know what, I'm going to actually use this. I have these little measuring cups that have little pourers on them. Now, you don't have to have this. You can do whatever you like. I'm going to do it because, knowing me, I'll make a huge mess. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to pour our liquid right in the bottle. Just like so. It's got that beautiful tan brown hint to it. And I don't want to overfill the bottle, so I have to really eye it. Okay, perfect. So I used, this bottle took almost 2 cups. All right, take that out. And there you go. There's my leftover bottle. Now, you don't want to seal this tight because you don't want to trap everything in there, because then what happens is you can make it spoil. When it's this hot and you cap it, you're going to spoil it. So you need to make sure that you keep that cap off and let it cool completely down before putting the cap on it and putting it in the fridge. Do not stick it in the fridge hot. You could cause the bottle to shatter, or like I said, you're going to get bacteria built up in there, and you know, then you could get sick. So we don't want to do that either. So there we go. Now I'm going to take the lid off because it's really hot. But there is our pumpkin creamer. Come down a little bit. Pumpkin pie spiced creamer for your coffee. You make it at home, give it away as a gift. You know that there's no chemicals in this. You've got your pure ingredients. We used pure vanilla. We used agave nectar. We used some maple syrup. And feel free, I just had my regular syrup, but go ahead and you can buy pure maple syrup and use that, organic maple syrup. Heavy cream, milk, organic pumpkin, and there you have a delicious, delicious coffee creamer that you made in your own kitchen. And I can guarantee you it's a lot cheaper than buying it pre-made. So why not make it and just keep it in your fridge? This probably makes 2 or 3 batches, store it in there, and you've got it for the fall. You need to make more, but you can see how little it takes to make it. So we'll go over the ingredients one more time. You need 1 cup of milk. You can use whole milk, 2%, whatever you want. 1 cup of heavy cream. We need 3½ tablespoons of a canned pumpkin, not pumpkin pie mix, just pumpkin. 2 tablespoons of pure maple syrup. 2 tablespoons of agave nectar. 1 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. And 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla. Put it in a saucepan, put it on medium heat. Keep whisking it together till it starts to boil, turn it off. And you're going to want to let that cool and then funnel it into your bottles or your mason jar, and you've got wonderful creamer. So anyway, just another fun video I wanted to share with you. Let's make our star attraction here right in the center. And if you like this button, please hit the like button. If you really like it, I'd love for you to share it on your Facebook page with your family and your friends. And I'll go ahead and post it on my Facebook page. I told you in my video, Just for Sweets, about me. Go ahead and go back and check that out and see why I'm all over the board and what kinds of things I like to do and what things I have going out there. But I do have a recipe book on Facebook page is what the name of the page is. So go search recipe book. You should find mine, and then you have to ask to be a member on it. And then as soon as you do that, I'll get the request, and as long as I'm at home near my computer, I will go ahead and accept the request so that you can get on Recipe Book. I do put some of these recipes on there, but the great thing about Recipe Book is that everybody that joins it shares their recipes on there, so you can get recipes from people that maybe aren't on YouTube or just it's hard to catch everybody on YouTube, so we can find the videos right there on Recipe Book. So go ahead and ask to be accepted to that page, and I'll add you on. The other page I have is my Just for Sweets page, which is just like my channel page or my channel name. So if you go to Just for Sweets, that one you just have to push the like button and you automatically are on there. And I kind of put like a lot of my baked goods, and I'm trying to get some videos downloaded on there. So go straight to that page, share those with your friends and family. Let's all get involved and have fun. It makes the holidays a lot better, and it's a lot easier than digging through a bunch of magazines. So let everybody else do the grunt work for you. We'll look at the magazines, and even you can look at magazines and post a recipe, and then you can go right on there and see what's good, because most of the time when people post things on those, it's the things that are good. It's the things that they've tried that they know are wonderful. So go to those pages on Facebook. So other than that, I hope you have a wonderful day, and until next video, till next time, God bless.